How social media, criminal background checks, and unemployment can impact your disability insurance claim. Hey, I'm Nancy Cavey. Welcome to this week's episode of Winning Isn't Easy. I'm a national ERISA and individual disability attorney, and I see these issues come up all the time in disability claims and during the course of a disability claim. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get started, I have to give you a legal disclaimer. This podcast is not legal advice. The Florida Bar Association says I have to say it, but nothing prevents me from giving you an easy to understand overview of the disability insurance world, the games that disability carriers play, and what you need to know to get the disability benefits you deserve. So off we go. Making the decision to reduce your hours and apply for residual disability benefits, or to stop working altogether and apply for total disability benefits, can be difficult. Now, you may think that once your doctor's made the diagnosis of a medical condition that's going to prevent you from working, or your employer tells you you're having trouble and you should apply for disability benefits, it's all going to be smooth sailing. You may even think that once you've submitted your insurance application to the disability carrier or plan, or even get benefits, that this is going to be a piece of cake. It isn't. When you apply for your disability insurance benefits, your initial application is going to be reviewed by the disability carrier, and they're going to be looking at it from three perspectives. The first is, what are the terms of your disability policy or plan? Two, are your medical records sufficiently complete to establish that you're disabled? And disabled, as that term is defined by your policy or plan. And what's your occupation in terms of your policy or plan? In other words, can you do the material and substantial duties of your occupation, or is there something else that might be interfering with your ability to do those occupational duties? Now, in this multi-part series, I'm going to be concentrating on the occupational evaluation. I want you to know the factors that the disability carrier plan is likely to consider in deciding whether or not they're going to pay your benefits. So when you apply for your own occupation disability insurance benefits, you're going to be asked a number of questions. What were your specific occupational duties just prior to the onset of disability? What were each of the specific physical and or mental requirements associated with each duty? How long did you perform each of these duties in the course of an average day or a week? How does a disability carrier verify your occupational duties? What's the date of your onset of disability, and how does that apply to your occupational description? And we talked about the status of your license. Welcome back to Winning Isn't Easy. Let's talk about some of the other searches that disability carriers are going to be doing. They're going to be doing a criminal background check, and they're going to continue to do a criminal check. Why is that? Well, first off, they're looking for past criminal behavior like fraud or dishonesty type offenses, from passing a bad check to fraud to embezzlement, because they want to know whether or not you're kind of a nefarious person who's going to falsify a claim, such as a disability insurance claim. Now, they're also going to be looking for criminal behavior after your disability claim, such as a physical altercation that might be inconsistent with what you claim you can't do. And that can range from spousal assault, and even murder. I know that may sound strange, but I've actually had a case in which my client, who was paid disability benefits because of a back condition, was actually ultimately arrested as being a drug dealer. He was basically traveling between the United States and South America doing drug deals. And unfortunately, he was involved in an altercation which resulted in the murder of three of his colleagues in his drug running business. Ultimately, as you can imagine, he ended up in jail, probably is going to be there for many, many years. And that was the end of his disability claim. So something as simple as being involved in a motor vehicle accident in which you're injured, being involved in criminal activity from spousal abuse to assault to even murder can impact, as you can imagine, your disability insurance claim. Why is that? Well, many times there are policy terms that will impact the disability carrier's obligation or plan to pay disability insurance benefits. The first is a provision that says if your sickness or injury, which is the basis of your claim, is the result of a commission of a crime, then no disability benefits are due. So let's say you're arrested during a protest and you were injured, no benefits are going to be due and owing. They may even say that if you're that you are involved in the commission of a crime that results in your incarceration, that you're not entitled to your benefits. So let's say that you're a pilot and you are disabled, but you're arrested for DWI and you're in jail for a couple of years. You may or may not be entitled to your benefits if your policy has a criminal incarceration provision. And that actually happened again to another one of my clients who was fortunately able to collect his benefits, but we had a hard time certifying his ongoing disability because the prison doctors, obviously weren't doing a good job of examining him. And more importantly, we didn't necessarily want them to know that he was in prison. So we were able to improvise to do some video type examinations and have his treating physician give us medical records and reports and fill out APS forms. But I tell you, that was a hard road to hoe. So you can see that these kinds of issues can adversely impact your disability insurance claim. So let's take a quick break.